All right, let's get it. This video is about pro-abortion. Okay? Why am I pro-abortion? Because I believe that if you can't give a child a life worth living, don't give them a life. If you can't give a child a life worth living, don't give them a life. You think it's okay to raise a child without their mother and father, without their biological mother and father, to give them to some people who want to use them as a tool to fill the gap or the hole in their heart? By using somebody else's kid. Look who is that Madonna doing? Madonna done adopted a black kid and cross-dressing the motherfucker. Because she's mentally damaged, now she's raising somebody who's also going to be mentally damaged. What 5, 6, 7-year-old boy you know wants to wear dresses? Like, come on, man. Where's the structure? You got all these celebrities out here who are using adoptive children as a tool, as a toy. They dress them up, they fuck with them. You know what I mean? But they really don't love them like that. They're a tool to them. They're just something to do. They're a charity. They're a charity case to them. But where's the children's sense of self? You think it's okay to raise children without a sense of self, without a sense of origin, without pride in family, without knowing where they come from? So you think it's okay to give birth to a child and then hand them over to the state? They get bare minimum requirements. They grow up. They get made fun of in school. They not living a life worth living. And that child grow up with a hole in their heart. Don't give them a life if you can't give them a life worth living. Make them feel like they're a part of something. It's a good feeling to go to Thanksgiving and you surrounded by your grandmother, your grandfather, your cousins, and y'all flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood. Fuck all that shit they talking about. Another reason why pro-abortion is because I believe that they're trying to generate a new generation of slaves. So what happens to damaged children? They grow up and they break the law. And now you got people handing out extended bullshit sentences in the jailhouse just to get free labor. You got convicts making furniture. You got convicts wrapping up food. You got convicts doing everything for $10 a month. But if you kill them all off and everybody's doing their own thing, you won't have like the prison system is a business. I need more slaves 15 years from now. I need more people in that juvenile hall. I need more people in that prison at 18 years old doing 20 years for this free labor. That's what I think it's really about. I think it's about generating a new generation of slaves. That's what I think it is. They don't give a fuck about them kids. So everybody's sitting up there telling them, don't get abortions. But then when that child comes out and the parent can't take care of them and they get tossed in the system, what the system do? They're not taking all 5,000, 10,000 kids and bringing them into their home. No, they put them in these institutions. They put them in these facilities. They teach them that, all you got to learn how to do is get a job. They don't teach them how to self-sustain. They don't teach them how to grow a business. They don't teach them how to be independent. They teach them how to be too dependent. They teach them that all you got to do is work for this man, work for BMW for the rest of your life, work for Mercedes for the rest of your life, work for GM, work for QT, work for all this other stuff like that. And we're going to teach you the bare minimum. We ain't going to teach you how to overcome. We're going to teach you how to get by. If you can't give a child a life worth living, don't give them a life. It's not okay that they can't go to school dressed nice, that they gotta get their clothes from the Goodwill. It's not okay that they don't know what a steak dinner or they gotta eat bare minimum. They gotta eat noodles. They gotta eat top ramen. They gotta share a room with 8 motherfuckers. They don't have that sense of familyhood. They don't have their mom and dad supporting them when they play their baseball game or their football games or whatever like that. They got the state, they got the wards and all this other stuff like that. That's not cool. That's not cool. If you can't give them a life worth living, don't give them a life at all. Fuck all that stuff. Fuck all that, giving my child to the next motherfucker. I knew a girl who was adopted. She was black and she was adopted by white people, and the white people never taught her African American history. You think that's okay? She said that she didn't know slavery happened until she got into college. She lived in a community full of white people that didn't touch it. that didn't want to talk about slavery. They never talked about Thomas Jefferson having slaves. They never talked about none of that. And so she get out here and wonder why black people are so fucked up, and she thinking that, oh, it's just because it's their genetics. It's because they lazy. She's not privy to what happened, over the course of 140 years. Black people only got access to wealth in the 1990s. In my lifetime, we seen black billionaires. You get your Oprahs and your Michael Jordans and your Tyler Perry. That's my lifetime. It's not even my dad's lifetime. You wasn't even, like in my dad's lifetime, they just legalized interracial dating, interracial marriages in 1967? Loving versus Virginia? 1967, 1970? Black people weren't allowed in the Mormon church to the 70s? That's my father's lifetime. That wasn't that long ago. So you think it's okay to teach a generation of black kids, that being light-skinned is right, or being, just teaching them this rhetoric, this falsehood. If you can't give them a life worth living, don't give them a life at all. Fuck all that. It's a baby. You know what? It's called a mercy kill. You know what? And that sounds bad, but when you see a horse struggling, it's okay to put that horse down if that horse can't run no more. It's okay to euthanize animals if the animals are sick. That lady on Hoarders, they said they euthanized half the cats. It's okay to euthanize that dog that's sick and everything like that, but when it comes down to humans, you rather have them in shackles. You rather have them in the prison. You rather them live their whole life with a hole in their heart, with no love, no compassion. They might turn to gangs. They might turn to the streets. But that man, that little boy that you didn't want to abort, yeah, it's 50-50. He can grow up to be Barack Obama, or he can grow up to be Ted Bundy. So you willing to take that gamble? You willing to take that gamble that this kid might grow up to kill my whole family? There's a 50% chance that this kid might grow up to kill me. But you know what? There's a more likely chance that he might grow up to be a deviant than a Barack Obama. Because how many Barack Obamas have you seen in your life? Out of the 30 million black people in America, how many Barack Obamas are there? You might want to think about it. I'm going to say it again. If you can't give a child a life worth living, don't give him a life at all.